Hey everyone, what's up? Today, I'm going to outline the basics of how the passives and skill specializations work in Last Epoch and how you can best use them for tons of different character build options. This is part 2 of a multi-part system deep dive series, so feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of these in the future. First, let's discuss the basics of passive points. A character gains a passive point for every level starting at level 3. An additional 15 passive points can be earned as rewards for completing certain quests. While there are 23 quests granting passive points, you are capped at 15 through said quests. I will put a link in the description providing a checklist of possible quest options for gaining these additional 15 points. When combining the 15 points from quests with the 98 possible points from leveling a character to 100, the maximum total amount of passive points is 113. The passives UI can be accessed by pushing the letter P, or can also be accessed through the game menu by clicking the passives section. The passive UI contains 4 different sections, with one being for the base class and 3 others being for the possible masteries for that base class. There is a golden progression bar that moves left to right as you put points in, which unlocks additional passive skills, as well as unlocking additional active skills at different thresholds. As you progress through the campaign, you will complete the mastery quest End of Time, which allows your character to ascend into one mastery class of your choosing. This mastery is permanent once selected, so be diligent about selecting the right mastery for your character you want to build. Once this quest is complete and a mastery is selected, the 3 mastery sections become available in the passives UI. One kicker is that you are first required to put 20 points into the base class before you're able to put points into the individual mastery trees. One thing that's really cool is that you're not limited to just putting points in to the skill tree for the mastery that you have selected, but you also have the ability to put points into secondary classes. This creates even more build diversity as you can unlock passive skills and even some of the active skills from the secondary masteries. This does come with some limitations though, as you are only able to put 22 passive points into each of the secondary masteries, with the maximum being indicated visually with the chain blocking further bar progression. Passive points can be respected in town at any time by visiting the Chronomancer, which is the NPC indicated on the map by a purple and pink brain icon. Each point that is respect does have a gold cost, so keep that in mind if you plan on respecting points often. Now, let's talk about the basics for skill specialization. In Last Epoch, you get a maximum of 5 skill specialization slots, which are unlocked at characters level 4, 8, 20, 35, and 50. Each skill slot earns experience, which can be leveled up to a maximum level of 20, with each level giving you points to put into the skill specialization tree. Certain gear affixes with plus to skills can level the skill above 20. The skills and specializations UI can be accessed by pushing the letter S, or can also be accessed through the in-game menu by clicking skills. The skills UI shows all available skills, including ones that haven't been unlocked yet. Skills are categorized by the way they are unlocked, which includes unlocked by character level section, base class passive tree section, and then the individual mastery passive sections. To specialize in a skill, you can either drag and drop the skill you want to specialize into an open specialized slot, or you can first click the open specialization slot and then click the skill. Once you have specialized a skill, a new skill tree is opened, which is where you add points to further enhance, support, and even transform the specialized skill. While this tree can be intimidating at first, when you break the entire tree down into sections, you can see that certain sections of the tree synergize well with each other. For example, here's the skill specialization tree for the Rune Master skill, Elemental Nova. The skills to the left are cold skills, the skills to the bottom are fire skills, and the skills to the right are lightning skills. Once you get an idea of how you want your build to work, you can usually avoid entire sections of the tree, which makes it much more digestible. You can also respec skill specializations by clicking the respec button in the top right, and then selecting whether or not you want it to remove skill points or despecialize the skill altogether. When you perform either action, you will lose specialization skill points based on your minimum skill level, which is capped at level 10 once you reach a character level of 80. Before reaching the cap, you gain extra minimum skill level at character levels of 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. When this happens, the skill actually gets accelerated XP gain to catch up with your other skills. The last thing I want to talk about are scaling tags, which are indicators on each skill to show which damage type affixes on gear scales with that skill. Have you ever found an item in a different ARPG and you are unsure if that item even scales the damage of the skills or build you're playing? If so, you're not alone. I've done that plenty of times. Scaling tags are found at the bottom of the skill tooltip when hovering over it. A good example here is Mana Strike, which shows that the damage scales from both intelligence and dexterity. Without the scaling tags on this skill, I don't think I would have ever guessed that both attributes scaled the damage on it. Scaling tags will also change based on points put into the skill specialization tree. A good example of this is Elemental Nova, which I can specialize as just lightning, or I can use multiple elements. For the example here, I currently only have lightning spec'd into it, which you can see at the bottom of the tooltip. There is also a little icon over here showing a little lightning bolt indicating that as well. If I go in here and I put a point into Fire Nova, you will now see that the tooltip at the bottom indicates lightning and fire, and the visual cues over here show the fireball now to go with the lightning bolt. As you've seen in this video, the passives and skill specialization systems in Last Epoch have a ton of options. Whether it be having the ability to put passive points into a secondary mastery, or completely transforming a skill by specializing in it, your build diversity has endless possibilities. If this guide has been helpful, please let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to playing Last Epoch with all of you at launch later this month.